Hello everyone. In this video I will explain the reports that are found in Eid Wahdeh system. Eid Wahdeh is a health information system. I encourage you before we start this video to see the first video that explain how the system works. Before we go into details, I just wanted to explain the main concepts that are behind the reports. So I listed out here the main concepts that we need to understand here. Uh, so let me describe the relation between these concepts. So let's say a patient comes into the health center. This patient is doing a visit. So when this patient goes to a health center, he's doing a visit, and in this visit he can go and see multiple clinics. For each clinics he goes to, that visit to that clinic is considered a consultation. So these are the main concepts that are found in the system. So one patient can do in a visit can go and see two clinics. So in this case it's considered as two consultations. Let's make it more general. So a patient can do multiple visits during a month, as an example. So one patient can do 10 visits. If we have an average that this patient is visiting two clinics in each visit, so in this case we will have 20 consultations. And let's make it even more general example. We might have 10 patients who might do in 1 month 100 visits, and in those 100 visits we might have 200 consultations. So as we see, the relation between these is as follow. So the visit is always greater than or equal the number of patients, and the number of consultation is always greater than or equal the number of visits. And during the visit also, a doctor can give this patient multiple services, and he can write multiple notes, and also he can add multiple diagnoses during this visit, and also can give the patient multiple medications. So in this case these are linked to the visit. So this is the main concept the reports works on. Now let us go and see the system. So this is the system. When we open the system, as we described in the first video, it will ask us to enter our credentials. So this is the list of reports. As you can see, it's being divided into three main categories, and this export to Excel report. In this video I will only explain the first category. I will create another video to explain the remaining reports. So I will explain the main important reports in general. So let's go first to the general consultation report. So this is the consultation. Each report has its own filter or filters. So in this case I can select which year to filter and which month. When clicking the generate report button, we can see in this area the report is being generated, and after the report is generated we can see here this is the logo for the Qatar Red Crescent. It can be changed to any organization, and also we can see here on the top many tools that can help us shape the report as we like. So as an example, here we can select how large the report will be. Also we can save the report in any format that we want, like Excel, PDF, or Word. And also, if the report has multiple pages, we can go next and to the next page, or to the previous page. So going back to the report, as you can see here, this is the report. This is the center that this report is generated against. So this is a branch in their result as an example. This is the year, this is the month, and this is saying that the number of total consultation in this year month is 442, and this is the breakdown of those consultations. So whenever we see a hosting nationality is the local nationality. So if this application is installed in Syria, it's Syrian. This is the hosting nationality or local nationality. And we can see also the breakdown for other non-local nationalities, as you can see here. So this is the breakdown. And as you can see here, as an example, the local nationality is breakdown into male, female, and we have these age categories. So this is the consultation. If we go back to the concept board, this is the consultation. In this case, it's this one. Going back to our reports. So this is the first report. There is another report about the general patient report. In this case, if we take the same filter and we generate the report, this is now the number of patients in the same month year. So we found that the number of consultation is 442, but now the number of patients, as you can see here, is 338 patient, and this is the breakdown of the number of patients that visit based on this filter. So if we go back to the concept here, we talked about this. The number of patients is 338. We can go after that to another report. Let's take as an example here. Um, I think it might be this one. So this report is the number of consultation based on each clinic. So as you can see here, we can select also the filter. We can select, let's say, the same period, 2009, 10, 31. Here we can filter based on male, female, or all. I'll select all for now. And this is here we can determine which age range that we are targeting. So let's say from 0 till 18 as an example. We can change it. Also here I'm targeting all nationalities and all patients. In this example, we can see the breakdown of this age group in this time range. We can see that we did, this is the clinic here, the X-ray clinic. 13 patients came into this time range in this age group, and we had 13 consultation to this clinic. And this is the pediatric. We had 142 patients, and we had 178 consultation, and so on. Let's take another report also. All of these are the general reports categories. So let's take ICD-10 per code group. Let's do the same filter. Let's take the same age group. I can include everything, like if I say between 0 and 120, this will include all of the patients. Uh, when we generate the report for this period, as you can see here, this will give us a breakdown report for all ICD-10 diagnoses that happened in this time range. In this time range, for this age group, which is all patients, we can see that ICD-10 Chapter J, we have 152 patients in this time range, and the number that the doctor did this diagnosis for these patients during their visits is 174, and this is the breakdown of the diagnosis, as you can see here. So we can see that let's say the most seen disease or diagnosis is this J04, and so on. And if we continue with the breakdown, we can see the other chapter, and this is the number of patients, and this is the breakdown for it, and so on. And we can notice here we have 3 pages. So if we go to the next page, we can continue reading the information for these diagnoses. So this is the ICD-10 bear code group. Also, we have a report that will show the medicine consumption rate. So if we take the same time, we can add any filter here, but this is for the example data I have. So 2009, 10, let's say the same period here, and when we generate the report, so this will show the medicine consumption. So we see here, and also they are here ordered by the most important let's say medicine first. So this is consumed more than the other medication. So here we notice that this medicine is taken by 122 patients in this time range, and it was given 135 times, and so on. So as you can see here, there are a lot of reports. Anyone can read this data based on what he is doing or researching or studying. Let's take another one. Let's take this report. So in this report also, in this report, we can add the time range, and also we can select which diagnosis that we want to show in this report. So in this case, I will select this one as an example, which is this the diagnosis. Also, I might select a random one. Let's select this one, this one. So we selected 2 diagnoses to add to this report. Now when we generate the report, so if we have another diagnosis here. It seems that the only diagnosis that uh, showed up in this time range is this I-10, and it showed up 26 times. Uh, but if this other diagnosis also have been or have been if the doctor um, saw this diagnosis in this time range, it will show here beside this one, and you can compare which one um, was seen more than the other. So let's continue. Let's take another report. Let's take this report as an example. Also, we can select which time range we want. Let's select the same time range. In this report, we can divide the data into what we call age groups. So I can select from 0 to 5. Maybe we can say this is the child age group, and we can select from 6 to, let's say, 18, and we can select from 19 till, let's say, 120, the rest of the age groups. And we can select all patient and visit and generate the report. This report, if we make this larger, this report, as you can see here, will show in this time range, which is 2009-10, the number of patients, and this is the number of their visits, and this is the number of the consultation. As you can see here, this is greater than or equal this, and this is greater than or equal this. And if we go back to see the age groups, so we can see here that each age group here, we can see how these numbers are divided between these age groups. As we can see that this age group has most visits, as you can see here, and the most consultations, and also the most patients, and so on. We can change it, so I can add here extra months to study. So I'm adding all the months, most of the months in 2009. When I generate the report, I can see that during this period, the number of patient is this, the number of visits is this, and the number of consultation is this, and this is the breakdown of this data. Let's take a last example, because in this case don't have much time to explain all of them. Let's take the female healthcare report. So this is based on ICD-10 diagnoses that are related to the female healthcare in general. So if we take it for the same month, this will show us this report. So it will show us that this diagnosis showed up most of the time in that time or in that month, and you can see more information about them from this table. So this diagnosis happened 17 times, this happened 2 times, and so on. Also, there is a breakdown based on the age group for those females. So this is between 20 and 45. We have and these are ordered based on the, the number of the diagnosis. You can see here greater than 45, and then we have 20 and under, which have one, and so on. So this is most of the main reports in the general report categories. I hope you enjoyed this video. The next video will explain about the remaining reports, which are the graphical reports, the nutrition report, and export to Excel. Thank you.